Hiya, thank you so much for joining me. So in this video, I'd like to talk about throat issues. So tonsils, and you may just not have a full-blown sore throat. You may just have a little bit of thrush going on in the throat as well and on the tongue. So I'm seeing a lot of thrush around at the moment in the tongue and in the throat. So whether there's thrush, if you were to test physically, you would always find some strep bacteria, some staph bacteria, but you would also find mercury as well in the tonsils and in the throat area. So wherever I find there's normally high instances of mercury in the body, there also, when you muscle test the body, there's also high instances of anger within the body as well. And it's the same with any inflammation or anything ending in itis. There's always anger kind of trapped in that body part. So the reason why I can see this picture is doing kinesiology and working with people, and then when you test kind of like 5 core emotions within people, so fear, anger, guilt, sadness, and the 5th is joy. So you can test all those basic 5 principal emotions and test each body part to see if that body part is actually holding on to some of these emotions. So the throat always seems to hold anger if it's feeling a little bit sore, or itchy, or just a little bit hot and red. So I will just give you the little throat affirmation to help clear it. So words still hold energy. So all of our words still have energetic influence over our energy. So this is how the affirmations work. So they just release any emotions that the body may subconsciously be feeling, and it brings it into the awareness in order for the body to say, okay, this individual is grasping what symptoms I'm trying to create, to give them a message to change something or highlight an emotion, or to highlight a belief system. So once you are aware of what emotion is there and what belief system you are holding, the body's going, okay, no longer need that sore throat or ailment or whatever it is, let go of it now. Okay, so the affirmation for throats. I accept that my happiness and freedom come from my capacity to express myself in truth, thus increasingly approaching my divine essence. All the emotions I feel are positive and are here to help me in learning something about myself. I must release them to remove the tensions that might accumulate. So this is really going back to the intrinsic truth, and as human beings, we've kind of, through society and the way we live, we've learned to switch off our intuition and our emotions. So we don't tend to live from the heart as much as what we are learning to now come into, that we will live our lives from what we know, which is in the head, education, that I have to do this and I have to do that, and da-da-da. But the heart may be saying, this doesn't feel good, this doesn't feel right. So it will come up in the body, and it will tell you when you are feeling subconscious anger, sadness, guilt, fear. It will tell you in the body. So there's always fear where there's a symptom, and one way we can compensate it for it energetically is always love. So that's the problem and the answer. So throats are about swallowing our emotional experiences and our reality. So rather than speak up and say, I don't like this, I don't want this, and the fear of, there's also a fear of being ridiculed as well about speaking up. So the throat and the tonsils are saying, I fear being ridiculed, so I therefore fear speaking up, therefore I can't change my reality. So your inner intrinsic truth is always saying, in any given moment, you've got choices, you can change this, you've got your inner authority, you've got your power, you've just forgotten that you are sovereign, you've just forgotten about it. So the throat is a little signal to our consciousness in saying you've got a fear of speaking up about something. The heart is saying, I want to change something. The heart is saying, whatever situation I'm in at the moment, I don't like it. the truth is, whatever situation you are in, you are a sovereign being. It cannot harm you. You can change it. You do have the authority and the inner authority. You can tell, you can express how you feel about something. You don't have to be all rageful to express anger, because in society as well, we've learned not to express anger. That, oh, you're a bad person if you get all aggressive. And yeah, when it's got to the point of aggression, it means that it's gone too far, that the cork has literally popped off the bottle and you've stored it too long. So anger is more or less dealing with it at the time of when you are feeling it, and you can feel it if you're feeling angry about something, or if something doesn't feel right. And it may be that as a person, you may actually be experiencing ridicule at this time, and you don't know how to vocalize your, please don't speak to me that way, have some respect, because this person who may be ridiculing you may be a person in authority, or it even may be a person that is close to you that you respect. So when it's an authority figure, and they may be ridiculing you, your heart's going, I don't like this, this doesn't feel good, this is disrespectful. But as an authority figure, you're not going to speak up and you're not going to question it, because you'll be fearing the ridicule, or you may be experiencing the ridicule. So that's what the throat is trying to tell us. So all these beautiful kids kind of like are experiencing this, that are having the sore throats at the moment, and adults alike as well. So if you are in a job and you know, you've come home, you've got a sore throat. So also sore throats are about something that we may be feeling guilty about having said. So you may be gossiping about another person or something like that. It's not going to serve you ultimately, because if you're okay gossiping about it, and you can gossip about somebody guilt-free, and you think, do you know what, I've got justification for saying whatever I'm saying, your throat will be fine, it'll be fine. However, if you say something about another person and think, I shouldn't have said that, either to the face or behind the back, the throat will come up as well. It'll feel guilty about the words that it has expressed. It could also be that you want to say something to somebody to express your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, your perspective about something. And again, you'll fear how they will take it, or you'll fear the repercussions from it. So you'll swallow it down. So a lot of, I call them gentlemanly men, will have this scenario going on as well, and it'll get stuck in the esophagus. So they'll kind of like feel like they've swallowed a tennis ball, and that's because, my lovelies, you are being so gentlemanly towards your spouses or family members or work colleagues or somebody else, that you won't want to pipe up and basically say how you feel. But we all have a right to express the way we feel. We all have a right to express an opinion. We all have a right to express ourselves. If you're finding you can't do it vocally, try other ways of expressing yourself. So if you have learned throughout your life and being institutionalized into thinking I can't express my emotions, pen, paper, heart, mind, write them down. You don't even have to give them to that person. You could just roll it in a ball, put it in the fire, you could burn it. As long as you express whatever it is that you are feeling in some way on paper, or if you're an artist, great, you'll be able to kind of express yourselves frantically there. If you're a writer, any of the arts are really, really good way of expressing yourself. So for teachers, maybe a little, if you are all of a sudden having children off school because of tonsillitis, maybe going around the class or school or anything like that, maybe an exercise, I'm not telling anyone to suck eggs whatsoever here at all, it's just mere suggestions. Get a little bit of creative, maybe the children could do drawings, maybe some creative writing, maybe get creative that week, if you're having some children coming off, allow them to express themselves without ridicule. And again, kind of like if it's a piece of work where they may be expressing themselves in, and kind of like it's and I know schools are absolutely amazing now, and that they don't tend to negatively put great big red crosses on like when we were at school and things like that. It's always a growing green or a yippee yellow. So kind of like, schools, you're amazing. You know, I take my hat off to all teachers. You do an amazing job. But I'm just trying to think of ways that could help your class retain numbers in class, to not have tonsillitis or sore throats, where people can express themselves happily. So it's just a little indication as to potentially what could be going. And as well, if you're an employer, and all of a sudden you've got staff going off, you know, with tonsillitis and these sore throats and glandular issues and things like that, try and get creative as an employer in creating something where they can be creative within the workplace, so they can be allowed to express their emotions without ridicule. Even if it's something like a suggestion box of anything. And as an employer, you're probably thinking, I don't want to read it. That's your choice whether you do or not, but it just gives people a way of expressing their emotions, that they may be feeling anger towards something, and they're not going to say it to a boss, they're not going to say it to a teacher, so they will be in a conflict with them, with their inner power and their inner authority. They won't want to rock the boat or be ridiculed by anyone, so they'll just swallow it down. But unfortunately, you're going to end up with kids off school, staff off sick. So this is one way that you can be enlightened to it and think, how can I get creative and prevent people becoming ill? So these people as well that tend to be more likely to come down with the sore throat are the ones that they will make attachments to other people really easily as well. But they will also be easily affected by somebody else's words or opinions. So again, their inner authority they will be holding an archetype where their inner authority can express itself. So we are just made the way we are made, but it would be so lovely if we could all have the insights to how one another's behaviours, where they come from, and the thoughts and the training, the limiting beliefs behind some of these things, that we can help one another have an easier existence and time of it. And that's exactly the whole reason why I'm doing this and why I'm here, is so we all have an easier time. What's wrong with that? So I hope this has helped. I hope this has helped in just highlighting where these sore throats could be triggered from. All right, I shall leave sore throats with you. Also, frankincense essential oil can be really good, just rubbed on a throat area. It can be a good essential oil, so not an aromatherapy oil, but an essential oil. Frankincense can be taken orally. doTERRA have a really amazing book which I use as my Bible. They bring one out every couple of years, and there's a whole chart as to which essential oils you can take orally and which ones you can't. Frankincense is one of those that you can literally put a couple of drops underneath your tongue. It will melt away your sore throat. So frankincense has an effect on mercury in the tonsils and heavy metals in the tonsils and anger, and helps with the emotion of connection. So frankincense essential oil, really useful for just melting away that sore throat. Also with children as well, you can actually use a combination of frankincense. So if they're still really throaty, you can use oils together as well. So if they really don't like the flavour of frankincense, because it can be an acquired taste as well, you can rub a little bit on the throat or the chest area, but also as well you can rub a little bit on their feet. So the feet is like the map to the whole of the body. So if you rub it on the feet, they're less likely to have any skin redness. So sometimes when an essential oil is actually working, sometimes you can tell it's working because sometimes the skin of where it's applied sometimes go a little bit pink and a little bit red. It's not an allergic reaction per se, it's just the essential oils drawing out the pathogens to skin level in order for it to then to clear it. So it'll dry it from within as to without externally. So that's the action of the essential oils. Also some really good essential oils for throats as well is peppermint. Peppermint is really good. So again, you know, your children, rub it onto the soles of the feet. So just before they go to bed, frankincense essential oil, peppermint essential oil, helichrysum for strep bacterias, and lavender. So they're what I call the fabulous 4 oils. Really, really good. And if your children are starting to come down with colds as well, really good essential oils putting on the soles of the feet. So I hope this helps those to soothe those sore throats. So take care everyone, and choose words carefully, and whatever you need to express it freely. Hope this helps. Take care guys. See you later. Bye.